A work in progress is taken for a live studio audience. Today's guest, Jimmy Noble. Now show Joshy your teeth.
And I told him to get out, because he's not going to play me like that. I'm being serious. If he doesn't... Oh. Hey, welcome to another edition of A Work in Progress. I'm your host, Josh Matusak, and I have no clue why you're still listening to me. In fact, I'm still looking for a real job. Don't get me wrong, the Genesee Sun is... I'm so hungry. They don't feed me. In the basement. They make me rub Jergens hand lotion all over myself. Here this past week's stories. A pair of Keshequa men have opened up 2 new businesses in a single storefront in Geneseo. Antique Collections is designed to help students deal with their college loans, while Notebook Tech is primarily a computer repair business. I'm so sorry, but that's the worst business pairing since Kentucky Fried Chicken Taco Bell. I'm just kidding. I love KFC Taco Bell. In fact, I had a T9 for lunch. And now I feel like Mike Tyson just socked me right in the gut. Animal rights advocates are circulating a petition to decrease the killing of stranded dogs at the Livingston County Pound. Of course, a Philadelphia man has contacted the county and told them that he would gladly take the dogs off their hands free of charge. Yes, Alex. Who's Michael Vick? Ding, ding, ding. A group of archaeology students are searching for artifacts behind the famous Mills Mansion in Mount Morris. Hey, guys, that's cool what you're doing and everything, but can't you pick somewhere other than Mount Morris? Oh, look, I found a Daddy Yankee CD. Sweet artifact, dudes. In other Mount Morris news, magician Steve Ingram will be performing at their local library as one part of a string of activities planned for the summer. Steve, yeah. It's gonna take way more than magic to fix Mount Morris, pardon me. A boat on Canisius Lake caught fire this past week due to complications with the engine. Fortunately enough, fire rescue was quick to the scene to offer their advice. You can't stop, drop, and roll. You have to flop, drop, and sink. Why do I do the things I do? It hurts so much. Moving on. Wait, how does a boat catch fire in the first place? Only in Livingston County would that happen. In local sports, well, we're still in kind of a standstill because all Chris Metcalf wants to write about is Little League. But that's okay, Chris. We should all be able to let our colors shine. Last week, the Genesee Country Museum paid homage to the 150th anniversary of the Civil War with style, as a replica of the helium-based balloons, which were used to spy on enemies, was open to the public. For only a small fee, $15, visitors can ride the balloon 300 feet in the air and survey the beautiful Genesee County countryside. Yeah, museum officials are already viciously arguing about whether to spend the proceeds on buying an even bigger balloon or just invading Maryland. I say they invade Maryland, because who cares about that state? A chef from Noyes Hospital in Dansville was recently named a finalist in a culinary creations contest. Among the other finalists were some hungover frat boy that fries eggs at SUNY Geneseo, and of course the Avon High School lunch staff. Because nothing says 5-course meal like the Avon High School lunch staff. Governor Cuomo recently signed into law a bill which could make cyberbullying punishable by a fine or up to a year in jail. You know another way to prevent cyberbullying? Turn off the computer and tell your kids to play outside. I will never do that voice again, I promise. Livingston County Judge Bob Wiggins ordered the Geneseo Town Board to allow homeowner William Curry to turn his Wadsworth Street property into a 2-unit apartment, which will most likely be rented out to college students. Splitting the property will make it much cheaper to not only pay rent, but also throw a big keg party. Chug, 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 chug. A Caledonia woman won a $5,000 cash prize for winning a Tops Friendly Markets Monopoly game. Yeah, sources say she had a choice between the cash prize and a get-out-of-jail-free card. And as you would expect, sources also say the woman plans to spend all of her cash prize shopping at Wegmans like a normal person. We're going to pause for a quick minute, but when we come back, we will be sitting here with Avon Police Chief Jim Noble. Stay tuned. This episode of Work in Progress is brought to you by the Village Restaurant in Avon, and also by Turnball Heating and Air Conditioning, Frugal Fashionista, and of course, the Image Empire Salon. Welcome back to A Work in Progress. Sitting here with me, the new Avon Police Chief, Mr. Jim Noble. Jim, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
Now, I must ask, like I said, you're the new police chief. Talk to us about that path to get that position.
Well, it was very interesting.
So you just paid someone a couple $100?
No. Maybe there's some people in the village who think that.
Yeah.
No, I've actually been in law enforcement over 25 years.
With the Rochester Police Department, correct?
With the Rochester Police Department.
Okay, tell us about that.
And, well, I started there in 1986 and retired on Friday the 13th of March of 2009. So
Quite the duration. Quite the duration. And now let me ask you, you worked at RPD, now you're the chief at APD. Differences there?
there is difference.
There is differences.
You know, you have similar incidents. It's just that less volume.
Right.
You don't have the amount of violence that we dealt with.
Right.
But there is issues and there's
I mean,
concerns.
I bet, yeah, definitely. I mean, both places have the problems, obviously.
Yes, they do.
But I bet when you're working for the RPD, you're not going to get too many calls about a ding-dong ditch incident or something like that.
Well, actually, we did.
Really?
Yeah.
And now, I've got to ask you, this is just a personal question of mine. You're probably going to say no. That's okay. I was wondering if we could film an episode of Cops in Avon sometime.
Well,
we can use my mom's camcorder.
well, that's interesting. It's, before I would have to agree, I'd have to talk to the village board, of course.
Okay.
But that would be something, because when I worked in the city, we were offered an opportunity to be on Cops. And,
no way. Tell us about that.
And at that point, the administration didn't think it was a good idea.
Right. Well, I mean, I've seen some episodes of Cops, and the administration might be correct.
Yeah,
that might have been a good idea to say no.
There's some issues, so it was decided no. And this was back when it was originally started, so
Right.
no.
And now, do you watch any Cops? I mean, I feel like a cop doesn't go home and watch Cops. Like, Derek Jeter is a baseball player. He's not going to go home and watch baseball.
Well, I watched it a few times.
A few times.
And then when I looked at it, I just walked away because it was like, are you kidding me?
Right. I mean,
and that was just your natural response.
Right. I feel like Chief Wiggums from The Simpsons has a better control on the real criminal justice rather than some of these guys on the show Cops.
I haven't watched Homer in a long time.
You haven't watched?
But
I'm starting to look like Homer. I'm starting to lose my hair.
It was interesting. You know, if the board looks at it and think, yeah, there might be an opportunity.
Right.
It just maybe you may have 12 hours of us driving around.
Yeah, right? Me, you, and Mr. Ferrara. That would be quite the time. Go drink some coffee and get some donuts.
Well, there we have to go with the donuts.
Right. It's my Homer Simpson. Now, I've got to ask you, this is the last question I'll ask you, Jim, and then I'll let you head out of here. Now, Chief Carney, great guy, love Chief Carney, and then the chief before him, I forget his name there.
You had Dan McGill?
McGill, exactly. Neither of those two had mustaches. But Mr. Jim Noble here has a mustache. I want that thing to stay for your whole tenure here as Avon Police Chief, because I'm digging it.
Let me tell you this. When I got hired in the city in 1986, I had a mustache then. And the options were, when you came into the academy, you had a mustache, you could keep it.
Right.
If you came in without one, you couldn't have one until you got through with your field training and you were sworn in. So I've had it for years.
Right. It's like the Ned Flanders. We keep talking about the Simpsons.
Yeah,
it's like the Ned Flanders.
No, now I'm the Ned Flanders.
No. Jim, it was great to have you here. I really appreciate you coming in. You're a great guy. I as an Avon resident myself, so excited to have you in town. And thanks again.
And thank you.
Yeah, and if I'm driving home and I'm speeding and you pull me over, just let me go, Jim. Just come on, I'm Bones' kid.
All right.
Anyway,
Maybe.
Jim, thank you for having you. I appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another episode of A Work in Progress. I'm Josh Matusak. This is Jim Noble. We thank you.